Welcome to the bunker.
Preppers, survivalists, off-gridders, homesteaders, and the like, welcome to Top's Bunker, a podcast for preppers. Email shtf@topsbunker.com. Website topsbunker.com. YouTube Top's Bunker podcast channel. And of course, X and Instagram. Please check the show notes in your podcast player for a link to help support the show. There you'll find valuable products and gear, and extra info on this episode. Also, please visit and join Top's Bunker Facebook group. You'll love the interaction with other preppers and like-minded folks. I want to thank you all for joining us. We've got a great show for ya. Tonight, the Dirty Garden Hose Show is back with another episode, and it's gonna get spicy. Rhonda and Britt are joined by special guest Corrine. She's here to drop some knowledge on foraging and homesteading. Y'all really don't want to miss this one. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Well, hello, all of you Dirty Garden Hoes out there.
Hey.
Britt's back with us, and she brought a friend.
Yes, I did. I have known this wonderful lady now for, I think, 4 years?
3 years.
And 3 years, yeah. Man, it feels like a lifetime, though. There's been a lot of memories. So we have the pleasure of having Corrine on today. She is a married mom of 3. She's also a homesteader, homeschooler, certified holistic health practitioner, naturopath student, trauma advocate, lover of animals, nature, and helping restore life back to the hurt. And she's also the founder and owner of Corrine's Dirt Medicine, LLC. So she has a wealth of knowledge that she's going to share with us today. And we're going to talk about some foraging and some gardening and how you can turn those into gifts. So I am super excited to chat.
Well, I had 100 questions pop in my head while you were just reading that out. So,
Yeah, she is amazing. My first question is, how did you get, what got you started in all of that, on the natural side of everything?
So, howdy y'all. Growing up, my family did a whole bunch of just the Western medicine. You know, if it didn't come in a pill, it didn't work. And I had health problems going on, and I just found myself not getting better. Just kept getting worse. Symptoms kept worsening. And finally, I was praying to the Father, and I was like, just show me where to go. And so that kind of started with everything between my faith and my health, mentally, spiritually, physically. I started digging deep into the Bible, and I was like, these guys, everything's natural. You know, nothing came in a pill for them.
Yeah.
And so just I just down a rabbit hole, doing my own research and seeing how people have changed their lives through plants and food and just meditations, praying, things like that. Simple things by walking and getting some sunshine,
Yep. The Father gave us everything we need on this earth.
He seriously did. He did. And so from there, I just quit every medication. I don't advise anybody to do this, but I just quit every medication that they were giving me. And I was like, I'm going to start natural as I can possibly get. And since then, it's been about 3.5 years out this way, foraging my own food, growing my own plants. But it started in California. That's where I was born and raised. Started my own little garden out there. I didn't do any foraging in California. I kind of wish I did. But once I came to the Oklahoma side, it just took off. I found so many awesome things out here that grew, and couldn't help myself but just dig in. And I'm still digging in, still learning, still surprised at all the things that I find.
Yeah, I'm not sure that rabbit hole ever has an end to it, The more you learn and the more you find new things, and then you figure out all the things you can make with those things, and
oh yes,
it just keeps going.
It really is amazing when you go to a new area. Like we're we're from Texas, but now we're here in Missouri. And just taking a walk out in the yard, if you pay attention and you know what you're looking for, there's so many plants.
It's so beautiful too. You know, the peace, the smiles you get. You see something and you can smile because you're like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that's used
Yeah.
for. Or just the curiosity that pops in. You know what I mean? And you're like, ooh, I wonder what this is for. It keeps things fun and interesting.
Yeah. I had a couple of things I put stakes beside and wrote with a marker so I could remember what it was because there's so much, it's hard to learn what everything is all at once.
Yeah, I try to actually put like little bricks around things I find because if not, then my
Mhm.
husband will burn it. And I'm like, don't burn the plants, please.
I've done that back when we had a bunch of grass. Whenever he would mow, I'd be like, no, you can't mow over that plant. That's a good one. You know, just sometimes. And if you don't know, there's a lot of people in this world that just don't know what they're looking at. They don't see the things on the side of the road or, when they're walking around, they don't realize that those are plants and medicine and
Yeah.
how much the Father has given us on this planet. So,
Corrine?
what's your favorite thing to make right now?
So given the season, I'm really big on like fire cider and fermented garlic, fermented ginger type of things. If I wanted to forage something, pine needles, those things, they're at their best peak in the winter time once it's cold. So pine needle tea, making pine needle or pine resin salves are also good, for pain, cold, flus, wound healing.
That's good to know. I didn't think about that. They were like the peak season right now being in the winter time. I would assume that's when they're falling off the trees.
Oh no, they stay pretty green. Pines and evergreens right now. This is their season, and yeah, their energy. You want to get them when their energy is at the peak, and the cold season is when it's at the peak for those plants, and they smell beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can always tell when there's real pine needles around. Like you can definitely smell it.
Yeah. One of the things I can't stand is walking into the store. I love the smell of cinnamon, but they put like the cinnamon on the acorns.
Mm-hmm. And it's like fake smelling cinnamon. It's not real.
Yes. I'm so sensitive to scents nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy anything with scents or like artificial smells. So like going down like the cleaning supply at the store, I'm like covering my nose. My head starts to hurt.
Yeah, I've been allergic to fragrances my entire life. I used to hug people and my face would break out just from their laundry detergent or perfume or whatever it was. And I grew up in everything unscented. So now when I hug people and their clothes have that like really fruity whatever smell, I just don't understand it. My brain is like, your clothes shouldn't have a smell to them because that's how I was born and raised,
Yeah.
But I know that cleaning aisle in Bath and Body Works when you walk by it in the mall and like,
yes.
oh, I can breathe.
And I used to love all those smells. Like I would go to the candle aisles all the time and sniff every candle I could while I was waiting for people to shop. And now I can't even walk down the aisle.
Yeah, I think sometimes once you learn, and I think the older we get, our bodies just, I also think sometimes the ingredients in those things have changed over the years.
Yes.
They're not always the best for us anymore. They used to be from plants and from actual things, and now they're so artificial.
Yeah, everything's synthetic now.
Yep, because it's cheaper to make it that way. So,
and when you get desensitized if you use it all the time, I noticed. I used to think Gain laundry detergent smelled awesome, and now I make my own laundry detergent, and I use lemon essential oil, like citrus essential oil.
Yeah.
So it smells good, but the last time I ran out, I went and got a thing of Gain instead. It's not the same.
It smells so strange. It's not the same.
Once you go natural, you
that.
can't go back.
Yeah, really.
I think that's on most things. Once you go to the natural side, you can't go back to the synthetic artificial stuff anymore. That's why it's super fun to start foraging and like, making your own things.
I make everything from our own medicines to our own salves, our own cleaning supplies as well. Like I like to use vinegar, white cleaning vinegar, and also all kinds of, you can throw pine needles in the vinegar, you know, and it has like natural disinfectant properties in it. My citrus pills, throw those in vinegar, let them sit for some weeks, and then use them. And then you have this beautiful, like citrus scented vinegar that you can clean literally everything with.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. I wish I was not traumatized by the smell of vinegar. My mom traumatized me growing up. She
Oh.
decided to, backstory. My parents ran an organic co-op in Florida. And then
Very
hurricanes happened. It was like 3 back-to-back hurricanes. And so they had a bunch of extra produce. So my mom decided to pickle all that produce so it wouldn't go bad during the hurricane when we couldn't open any doors or windows for days. So my brain is forever traumatized by the smell of vinegar. I can't do it. I
Oh.
try.
I
It's
promise
just bad.
you, if you soak some herbs in there or some peels, tighten up that jar and put it away for like 6 weeks. When you open that jar, it will not smell like vinegar. It will smell
Okay,
like
so
whatever you threw in there. Like
I'll have to try that. That sounds awesome.
gotcha. I just got to get past the beginning vinegar smell of it.
Just have the husband open the jar and pour it in and close it.
Gotcha. My mom made fire cider a few weeks ago, and I helped her like clean out the pots afterwards. And I was like, oh my gosh, the smell. I can't do it. But my kids just take that fire cider just raw. They just, sometimes
Yeah.
I used to put it in honey, but now I just give it to them straight. They complain about anything. I'm like, nope, go take it.
It works so
fixes it all.
good. Yes.
It does. Do you want to give a brief description of fire cider just for people who haven't heard about it?
Sure. It is there's no set we'll say recipe for it. You want to get all the things that have all kinds of medicinal benefits. So from turmeric and ginger with your gut health. Apple cider vinegar is good for your guts, antimicrobial, bacterial, helps with antiviral stuff. We throw garlic cloves in it, which is really good as a natural antibiotic. Oregano, another really good natural antibiotic. I throw thyme in it. I will put peppers. I do cayenne, jalapeno, habanero. The spicier, the better, I feel, because it's got all the anti-inflammatory properties in there too. Immune stimulating. And you basically throw all that stuff fresh, chopped into a jar. You pour, I would say, about half to 3/4 apple cider vinegar, and then you can top it off with water. I also throw oranges and lemon in it. And you just let it sit for a few weeks. 6 weeks is pretty good, I would say. But, if you need to tap into it a little bit sooner, you totally can.
So I've seen numerous recipes for this online. I have not tried it myself yet, but the recipes vary a little bit. Like there's
Yes.
other ingredients and different ones. Is there like a base set of ingredients that you need to use before you decide what you're going to add on?
Most of the ones that I see have garlic. They have orange in it, like some kind of additional citrus. So you can do orange or you can do lemon. And a lot of them do like turmeric and ginger. Those are probably about the main. You can also, onion is also a big thing in it too, but I've seen a lot of people not use onion.
What are the benefits of onion?
Onion, it's actually got antimicrobial properties to it.
Oh,
It's almost like it also helps like cough suppressant.
okay.
It'll also help you with stimulating your blood.
All right. I can see that. All right. Yeah, that sounds like the most important ingredients. So then you can just add in other things on top of that to add more flavor or additional benefits.
Yeah, once you get into researching the medicinal benefits of each
Mhm.
plant, then it kind of will help you steer what you're going to use,
Okay.
like antibiotics. So I don't take antibiotics, but oregano is really good. That was like the biblical time of antibiotics, oregano and garlic,
Okay.
You can look at thyme, and that actually helps with like detoxing and getting rid of like worms and things like that. So just each plant has like tons and tons of medicinal properties, and they have vitamins and minerals and all kinds of fun things that, like I said, rabbit hole. Once you start seeing like, oh, well, this plant does this and this herb does this and this, you're
But you
kind of like,
can't fit everything into one jar.
no, you can't. You cannot.
Depends on the quantity, I guess. If you wanted to put like one little part, you probably could get most of it, but
A little pinch.
depends on how big the jar is too, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think I've never done anything smaller than a half-gallon jar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when
I'm gonna try
my
this.
mom did it a few weeks ago, I think she did 6 half-gallon jars. She was
Mhm.
like, I'm just gonna get it all done and over with, you know? Because it's
Yeah.
all it takes time, so you might as well make a bunch of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a great gift for other people, especially this time of the year.
Oh yeah.
They want to call it cold and flu season, but I saw a quote the other day that was like it's back to back candy, sugar, holidays, and then you're inside because it's cold, and then they want to call it flu season. It's like, no, it's just because of what you're putting in your bodies during this time and what you're not
really
doing,
is.
you know?
Yeah. So I've noticed that a lot of people who eat like the processed foods and a lot of the sugary things tend to get sicker a lot more than the ones that are actually, implementing the herbs and the fruits and the bone broth, that
Mhm.
does
Oh,
wonders
yeah.
too. So it really depends on the way you eat. I would tell my husband, put a beanie on, you're gonna get sick, and he's like, that's not true. It's cold outside, and he's like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So,
It's just we don't want to be outside because it's so cold, you know? Like
right.
the average population is like, yeah, I'm not spending time out there. It is way too cold. We've become conditioned to the warmth, you know?
Yeah,
So
I know I am.
awesome.
I love the heat.
Yeah, me too. I'm currently sitting up in Pennsylvania and there's snow on the ground, and I
Oh,
made it
no.
outside about 10 minutes yesterday to watch the kids do sledding. And I was like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. It is way too cold for me. I was born and raised in Florida. I like my heat.
Yep. Yeah, Southern California for me, and then we moved to the desert where it stayed hot most of the year.
Yeah,
It's been
that
in the
totally makes
20s
sense.
here, and to me, it's just painful.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about foraging and gifts, this season of the year and anytime during the year, I'm one of those like realistic, practical gift people for birthdays and stuff. I don't want to just throw money at them or something that's going to sit on a shelf. So I always love doing things in jars, whether it's like what is it, like the layered food jars where you can do different things, or soups. I've done that before, and you can, or canning stuff. I love always canning stuff and giving it to others. But what is your favorite thing to like forage and gift? Have you done any of that?
Forge and gift. So I've done a lot of teas. I do a lot of loose leaf teas for people that I hang out with, my loved ones, my family. And I also make salves so I have a garden and everything is organic, and um I've implemented things that grow around here naturally into the garden to have more of it. But so like in the cold and flu season, I've given some of our brothers and sisters like bee balm and yarrow tea that I've picked, from the property, or some mullein for the respiratory health. I don't think I've done jar stuff, but it's, like I said earlier, fermented garlic or fermented gingers type of thing. But yeah, no, I've not really given anybody anything in a jar.
Yeah. Well, teas are something most people love. And there's such a
Right.
variety of teas,
There is.
you know?
Yes.
Some people like minty teas, some people like floral teas. I remember walking into an actual tea shop earlier this year, and there was probably 100 different tea options. And I had no idea that you could make so many different varieties,
Yeah.
And they all work differently and they all taste differently. And it blows my mind what you can make, with herbs and plants.
Well, let me
Yeah.
ask a question since we were talking about vinegars a minute ago. Do you make any kind of vinegars to cook with that are, that have flavor to them to cook with, like infused?
I have not. That's one of the, I've actually been wanting to make my own apple cider vinegar as well. Something I've
Oh,
not done, but on the to-do list.
I see. I don't even know if you can use white vinegar to infuse and then cook with. I just thought I'd ask.
They have a cooking white vinegar. Like, was it rice vinegar, I believe?
The rice
May
vinegar, yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But yeah, no, I've not. I actually don't even cook with vinegar in any way, not even apple cider, other than the fire ciders or um, do like a foot soak.
Yeah,
Use apple cider vinegar for my hair.
I use the wrong terminology. I make salads with vinegar. I don't cook
Okay,
them.
yeah, like a dressing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I make dressings, all kinds of flavors of vinegar and
That
oil.
sounds delicious. Yeah, one of the things I've been wanting to do, but just have not done it. Also, I've not canned yet either, so I'm a little behind on that area.
Me too, girl.
Yeah. Sounds like you have the gardening, you're ahead of the game on that though. What do you have in the garden currently?
I told my husband, I was like, babe, so we're gonna have a nice big garden, but most of it's herbs for teas and medicine. I know you're expecting like, potatoes and all kinds of other things, but that's just not gonna happen this year. In the
Different
garden,
years, different things.
it's a medicinal garden. I would say that. We had some tomatoes, we had some peppers, but I used the peppers to make my cayenne salves and hot pepper oils, infused oils and things like that. We've got forage and stinging nettle, and we've got comfrey and marshmallow, and we have bone knit, and we have some all heal. We've got elderberries growing in there. We have some passion flowers. We have St. John's wort, some yarrow. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah.
We have
You got
mugwort.
like, yeah, that is awesome. That is totally a medicinal garden. Oh my goodness. Did you make sure how picky were you when you were doing the seeds part of that? Because that's my fear is I always want to start a garden, but then I get so overwhelmed with where do I get the seeds? And, are they organic or heirloom so how did you start on that side of it?
So as far as placement, we have raised beds and then we have a lot kind of like sparse dirt here and there. So I just kind of went wild with it. I was like, we'll see what grows where and what flourishes, Something that caught me by surprise the last time I walked through the garden is I have holy basil, oregano, lemon balm growing, and somehow the holy basil just crept out of the garden bed. So I've got it growing randomly just in the yard now, and it's doing great.
Awesome.
Yes, I didn't expect that. So now I know, okay, it's hardy. It can do good in this kind of soil. Cause it's we grow rocks over here where we are. We don't have much dirt, but
I was gonna say that's for sure. When you said barely dirt, I'm like,
yeah.
I remember that barely dirt.
Yes, rocks everywhere.
That's how it is.
You
on
can't
our
really
property.
grow things out of rocks,
No,
Yeah.
holy basil does fine.
Good to know.
I'll have to remember that. We found a mullein plant in the yard. Actually, I found several now, but I found a full grown one. It was over 6 foot tall. And so I
wow.
harvested the bud off of it, the seeds, and I can't wait to plant those.
Very cool.
Or scatter them. I haven't figured out where to scatter them yet. But
I was referred to a website called Strictly Medicinal Seeds online by a brother and sister, and they have really cool seeds, organic or non-organic. I always go for organic. So every herb or fruit or anything like that I have in the garden is organic. We don't do any kind of spraying of anything. I kind of just let nature do its thing. So yeah, ordering online. We've had people gift us seeds as well, which is something I would really like to do. And then I harvest my own seeds once our plants go into seed. I start harvesting them for the next year.
I'm going to plug this website for you. I just pulled it up. It's awesome. They have an essential medicinals seed collection. They have one that's dye plants, so you could make dye, I'm assuming, out of those.
I wrote that website down because that's always my thing is I get so overwhelmed. on the seed side of it. And I've been gifted seeds before, and I bet that would be a super cool thing to not only collect for yourself, but to share with others.
Yeah.
That's another good gift, as because
Great resource.
I've been given seeds before where it was like the person had so much, like the seeds were never ending when it came time to harvest them. So that's one thing that would be super easy to gift, to others, because I do think people in our country do not plant as much as they should. Like if we can all use our space to plant more, it will definitely help in the long run.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the food and things are coming along.
Oh, yeah.
Is it real? Is it fake?
Yeah.
Is it sprayed?
Yeah. And the things that you think are not sprayed and think would be clean, and then you'd learn, the exact opposite. What can you trust and what can't you? Only the things that you can actually grow.
Yeah,
nowadays.
Really. Yeah, I tell my husband, it's so expensive trying to eat healthy. Like, we try to buy organic, and if we're not growing it, and right now nothing's really growing too much, so it's just can be such a headache sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I need to find a farmer's market.
Yeah.
So Corrine,
those are always good.
Corrine, do you save your own seeds?
Yes.
Or are you going to make a seed vault or anything, or do you just plant them the next season?
So this is my first year with this garden, on this property. And so I'm planning on trying to save as much as possible. I keep them all in, brown seed packets.
Uh-huh.
And I keep them all in a container indoors. But, who knows where this is going to lead.
Are you a very organized person? Do you have those all labeled nicely and organized?
Yes, I like my labels. I gotta at least write something on it. If it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's got my sloppy handwriting on it. As long as I can read it, we're good. But if I don't label things, I forget.
I'm not good at that. I have seeds that are labeled green peppers, hot peppers. I have no idea what they are.
They're a pepper, at least.
Yeah, they're some kind of pepper.
Hey, it works at least. Yeah, some kind of labeling to it.
I'm the person who just kind of wings it. I do not label things as much as I should, and probably be better. The older I get, the more I'm like, yeah, I need to write things down, because my brain, you just lose it. It's gone forever.
No,
Good
yeah,
luck remembering
it. I was thinking about a year ago that, I'll just put all the herbs in jars and I'll know what they are. No.
No.
Because they look different once they've been dried and sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
So
do they?
Yeah. So now I'm just like, label it, date it, and label it, so you know when you pulled it out, what it is.
I was gonna say dating is definitely important.
Yes,
it is. I had dried in our dehydrator. I dried some mandarin mint from the garden, along with some basil and oregano, and I thought, these are so different. I'll be able to tell them apart, and if not, I can just taste of them or smell them. And it was almost impossible, and I did have to taste of them. And let me tell you, eating a piece of thyme without anything else was pretty gross.
Oh man, can't even imagine.
Yeah, that's actually what you resort to, is you got to taste it, because sometimes the smell isn't as strong, and you're just what is it?
They're all wrinkled. Yeah.
I was thinking when we were talking about gardening, are you off grid or mostly off grid?
Mostly off grid. Yeah. Okay. We have electricity. We have a power line, but we haul our own water, and we have solar panels as well, and generators and things like that, batteries.
Gotcha. So with that, what are some hand tools that you recommend for the garden?
Hand tools? Oh, this is going to be horrible, because I couldn't name the ones I use. I'm actually, okay, so I don't really use a lot of garden tools. I use my hands. Okay. So, yeah, the basic garden tools for me is like a shovel and like a pick. And I don't even really use them. My son will use them because, like I told you, if we're digging in the ground, we're digging in rocks, and I'm not
I'm sure
doing
that pick
that.
is helpful. Yeah.
Very helpful. So I have my little buffness to help me out when I need that. But I don't wear gloves. I like to feel the dirt. It's very relaxing
Awesome.
for me. So
Mhm.
garden time is like my peace, you know. I either have some kind of worship music on or I'm listening to the birds sing. I want my hands all deep in the dirt, getting picked. Oh my goodness. So I have stinging nettle, like I said.
Mhm.
And that's probably the only thing I'll put gloves on for, because if not, it pricks.
Stings, I would
Yes.
imagine. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very, very much. But it's actually really good for arthritis and things like that, though, too. People who have arthritis in their hand, they actually will get the fresh nettle and just kind of dab it on their hands or wherever their arthritis is, and it stings them, and it'll give them pain relief.
Hmm. I was
Wow.
wondering, does it reduce inflammation or is it just
Yes.
pain relief? Is that what it does? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll reduce the inflammation and it relieve the pain. So that's pretty cool. But when
That's
you
good
don't
to
want to
know.
do it and it just surprises you because you're reaching for something. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm working around the nettle, I've got long sleeves on and gloves. But other than that, I don't really use garden tools. I like to dig with my hands.
I mean, that's the tools the Father gave us, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
They
the
didn't
same, but
have
sometimes you hit the rocks and you just can't get around the rocks.
Yeah. That's where
Uh,
the pick comes in.
yeah.
pick or shovel.
Definitely. Yeah, pick or shovel, but I really don't have garden tools. I've bought some like nippers, scissors work fine to cut stems and stuff if they're too thick. Otherwise, I just kind of break and twist them myself by
Mhm.
hands, you know.
On that note, how does watering go? Because you said you haul in all your own
Oh,
water.
yes, that's always fun. We have IBC totes stacked, so gravity feeds into our water hose, and I'm able to actually just use an actual water hose to
Oh,
get everything
nice.
done. Yeah. But before we had that, it was filling up the buckets, filling up whatever I could to just water one bucket at a time.
Wow.
Yep.
You
And
get
I'm sure you,
get kind of
when it,
buff doing that.
I remember hauling in water when we lived semi off grid. That was definitely not for the weak. You definitely gained some muscles carrying in those
Yes,
water
you do.
jugs. And the Father makes it rain too, so
Oh,
he waters
yes.
them sometimes himself.
I make sure to say thank you, Father, for watering the garden for me.
And thank you for giving me a little bit off.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have you noticed certain plants don't need as much water? Like, do you water based on what type of plant it is?
So I would say I'm a lazy gardener.
Okay.
In a sense, if I'm watering, I water them all the same for the most part. If there's something that looks like it doesn't need much water, then I'll just kind of throw a little bit on there just for safe measure. But for the most part, like the holy basil, it does well
Mhm.
like in loamy soil. So it doesn't need to have too much water. I've seen that it does great just on the ground. Compared to yarrow also does really well in like loomy, rocky type soil. And so it doesn't need too much. The native plants here that get rain when it rains, and then when it's dry, they still seem to do well. I would probably water them maybe once or twice a week for safe measures. But I think it's the fruits and the vegetables that need it the most. They take more water than anything else in the garden. A lot of the herbs, they do great, just like minimal.
That makes sense because
Yeah, you don't want to drown them.
yeah, well, and fruits and vegetables normally have some sort of liquid or juiciness to them
So
when you're eating them. So,
yeah.
they need all that water to be able to grow like that. Whereas herbs, like you dry them out,
Yes.
most of the time. Okay, so you said you don't wear gloves, so you're more of a hands-on person. When it comes to learning things about gardening, did you just did you use more internet? Are there any books you recommend for somebody who wants to dive down that rabbit hole?
It was a lot of trial and error for
Okay.
sure. But I also bought an app on my phone, like a plant identifying app. And that actually helped me like keep track to see like if there was a new plant that I saw and I didn't know what it was. I would take the picture of it and it would, tell me what it was. And then I could see the care for it, the information on it. Is it toxic? Is it non-toxic? And then I would go to the internet and look up the same plant, see what people had to say in their forums. And then I would go to the books as well and just kind of see what kind of piece everything together, There's some plants where people will say, hey, that's toxic, stay away. And then there's other places where they're like, hey, that's medicine. You just have to use it in moderation. For example, pokeweed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Yeah.
says, stay
Yeah.
away from the pokeweed. Don't eat the berries. And, but actually, yes, it is toxic. But if you can work with the plant and know the toxic parts of it, then you have more leeway with it. So like pokeweed root, for example, is really good to use, before it's like too big though. 2 feet tall is a good time to use it. 2 feet and under. You use the roots. It's good for your lymphatic system. Grind it up, or make a tincture of some sort. It's good for your lymph nodes. Same thing with the berries. The toxic part of the berries is the seeds. So you don't want to eat the seeds. You don't want to crunch on them. I've seen people swallow the berries whole, and then they digest it and the seeds come out. Or I've actually done it myself. I'll get the berries. I will put them in a mason jar with apple cider vinegar. And then I just kind of gently like mash the berries. And then you strain it. That way the seeds are caught and then you have the berry juice with the apple cider vinegar and you add honey to it. And you can also drink that as a tonic, help cleanse the blood system as well. So don't ever just take one source word. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll have to go and like dig around. You're asking about books. So I have a Eat the Weeds Forager's Guide book that I really like.
Oh.
Written by Green Dean Jordan.
Okay. That's cool. And is it like mainly focused on weeds, I would assume? Like what we would consider weeds?
Yeah, like the dandelions and things like that, which is so good for you. It also helps you with like identifying what they are, getting to know the like anatomy of plants. Another one that I really like was the first book that started it all for me, what made me want to actually get into herbs, was The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies by Nicole Peelan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been looking at that.
It came out 2021, and that's when I got it. And that's where everything just kind of took off, and I was like, herbs are our medicine, foods are medicine.
Yep.
I must learn all of them. There's 100 Plants That Heal, illustrated by Gerald Dubine. I'm butchering their name, sorry. And Francois Copland. But
you're good. That's what the internet's for.
Great. Native books as well. Finding the native herbs and medicines and foods. I really enjoy those ones.
And when you say native, are you talking like native to the state or to the country or the area? Like,
yes,
all
native
of it?
native to the area. Like, so
Okay.
I'm in
Oklahoma.
northeast Oklahoma, and so like the native plants within this area. So they have Oklahoma Forager's Guide. I think it's on Amazon. I've seen it. I don't have it, but it's in my cart. I've been thinking about getting that one. And also like Native American books as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have really good things. I've got one. I can't tell you the name of it, but it's there somewhere. It's really good. It has a lot of insights on just centuries and centuries of uses on these plants, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been around for
Yeah.
so long. Like
Yeah.
that's, there wasn't the pharmacies back in the day, the pharmacy was the guy who took the plants, or girl, who took the plants and turned it into tinctures and salves and things like that. There wasn't all these pharmaceutical synthetic things out in the world. And I do think that all the synthetic things started from a plant,
Mhm.
like they just tried to figure out how to make it cheaper and in a lab instead of growing it out in their garden.
So that's actually one of the avenues I had took. I was like, well, these doctors are giving me all these pills and all these things to take. And where do they come from? And so
Mhm.
when you get to the root of it, it comes from a natural plant that they just kind of adulterated a little bit to make it spread more. So then that's where I was like, I'm just going to go straight to the plant. Like, I don't want
Mhm.
the pill that's messing up, my stomach or giving me acid
Giving you-
reflux and,
giving you all the side effects.
hurting my liver. And like,
Yeah. If people only had to read all the side effects to the medication before taking it, most people probably wouldn't take it.
oh yes. I mean, I would hope so, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, any plant, any herb, their medicine has come from one of these herbs, one of these plants, one of these trees. It's just doing some homework and just nerding out on it.
Yeah, once you go down that rabbit hole, you're going. Because the more you learn, the more you want to learn,
Mm-hmm.
the more you start opening your eyes and looking around and seeing all the things the Father put on the planet to be able to help us grow the food. On that note, do you do any composting or like worm towers or anything?
So we do compost.
Okay.
We throw all of our scraps into it, all of our leaves. When we have a bunch of leaves, we'll rake them into the piles, and we have it fenced, gated off. We also burn, and once the land is burned, we will use the ash and we'll mix it as well into the garden.
Okay. Are you particular about what you burn in that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Very much. We do everything that's natural nature that falls off the trees, basically. We don't burn anything that is no plastics. Like, we don't even burn plastic in our burn barrels when we burn our cardboards, or our mail and things like that. That's all completely separate. Only natural things go into the compost. Well, if we rake out the chicken coop, that goes in the compost as well. If we, like I said, do burning, we'll throw the ash into there. We throw all our spare, rotten food that's gone spoiled or whatever, that goes into the compost pile. I laugh because you mentioned worms. My daughter and I tried to do a worm farm, and
didn't go so well.
She had it all set up. She did great, and then we had the most a week of just rain, downpouring rain, and so by the time we got into the buckets, our poor worms drowned. They were just gone.
No.
I was like, Lily, they're gone. And she was just like, oh no. So we'll try it again. Maybe we'll have to figure out a different place to put it, to put them.
Yeah. Or wait till not rain season, maybe dry season, but you never know. You never know when it's going to rain. It seems to be the weirdest weather lately,
Yes. Yeah, I was expecting it to stay cold, and we're expecting 70s next week, so.
Oh my goodness. Oklahoma never knows how to make up its mind. It's cold in the morning, hot during the day, cold at night.
Yeah, when I first moved out here, I was like, this weather is really bipolar.
Yeah. But I've come to realize it's kind of like that across the country. Our weather, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but our weather definitely seems to be different nowadays versus 20 years ago.
Yes.
Across the board. So I don't think it's just Oklahoma, the more I've paid attention to the rest of the country, but it is definitely bipolar a lot of the time,
Yeah. Well, I came from the desert too, so we never had rain really. It rained once or twice a year. And
Oh,
so
wow.
we didn't have much thunderstorms, and where I lived, we got rain or snow maybe once a year. So coming here and having all the seasons,
Yeah.
it was fun. It took some adjusting and getting used to. Now I'm like, okay, like this is fine. This is becoming my new normal.
Yep. It only takes a few years of adjusting. Being born and raised in Florida, it rains every day at 3:00, no matter what time of the year it is. Like, you are getting a rainstorm. You just learn to live with it. But I can imagine with gardening, like the weather changes make such a difference. And I'm sure that's been a big struggle for people trying to keep up with their gardening, is like the hot to cold, or a week of rain. I can imagine that would mess up some of the plants and harvesting and things like that. But the Father also can still make plants grow, like you were saying. You're growing them out of rocks, so I
So
think
this year, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you're good. Go.
So this year, you know how we had our frost, the first frost that happened, and we still had tomatoes growing. And then the second frost happened, and it was like 2 days of freezing. My tomatoes were still growing. They were still like kicking it. I was so surprised because I was like, you guys should be like shriveled and dead already. But no. So yeah, like you said, the Father provides. Like God knows what He was doing, you know? And I think having certain plants, they adjust to the conditions, you know? So like
Mhm.
I personally like to overwinter certain seeds. I will throw seeds out super early. Even though they're not going to come up till summertime, I'll still throw them out and let them overwinter. It just makes them a little bit more hardier, a little bit stronger when the ones that do survive and grow.
Yeah, that makes sense. It kind of like puts them through the ringer before they, sprout and stuff. They can actually, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like get hardier,
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
totally makes sense. So many people want to be, and I'm sure there is a method to it, but they're very strict on their timelines and when you put it in the garden and when you water it. And I sometimes think like plants need the flexibility, and the Father, does have a way of taking care of things, You don't
Yeah.
always have to be super strict. Cause I think some people have never started, and I'm one of these people, never really started a full garden because I just get so overwhelmed by the whole thing. It's such a big project, it sounds like, but you just have to think about, like, you're putting seeds in the ground, and then you're just going to be patient and you're going to water them. And, it doesn't have to be this giant, I need so many raised beds and so many tools. And the Father
Yeah.
really has given us everything we need. It's just the action behind it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a very like minimalist type of person. I don't like all the fancy things. I'm not keeping up with the Joneses, we'll just say. Like I want everything as natural as possible with the least amount of like utilities. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to not start something because I need this and then I need this and then I need this. I'm just like, let's just try it out and see what happens. You know?
Trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. And just I think back, way back when, or even like with native cultures, like they didn't have all kinds of fancy schmancy things to get their crops to grow. They worked with nature. They did what was natural, what came natural. So I'm very big on like, I'll make beds out of rocks, little small beds, I'll find the big old rocks that we have in the yard and I'll make them in the circle or square or whatever. And I'll throw my dirt in it. And I have plants grow. I have plants growing out of tree trunks. We slice the tree trunks and we hollow them out. We throw dirt in it and they grow. Great. Like,
What a great idea.
so just recycle, reuse, use the land. You know what I mean?
Getting stumps out of the ground is hard, so you might as well hollow it out and repurpose it.
Yeah. Why not? When the squirrels, they eat the trees, the dead trees, and then you cut a tree open and it's full of squirrel poo. Use it.
Yep.
Let it fertilize your garden. Like, yeah, I think keeping it simple makes it more, one, enjoyable, because then it's less of a task and a deed, right? It doesn't turn into work. It's just something you like doing.
I think
You're
it's
making
very
things with your hands, and just a little bit of imagination, like you said, some patience, and
Yep.
you'd be surprised, like just how good things will grow. I know there's people who have things to a T and they have their methods, and you
Mhm.
can't plant this with that, and yes, there's certain things you cannot plant things. I like I said, trial and error. I've done that. Planted things, and then it's one plant's taken over, the other one barely could thrive, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to move that one. But that's what makes it fun, because then you build a relationship with the plants and you know more about it. You get to
Yeah, I
see
think
it
that
for
comes with
yourself.
yeah, that comes with anything in life, trial and error, and just building that relationship and that kind of bond with your garden and your plants, and how your dirt works. I mean, I've learned over the years that like the dirt in Oklahoma is way different than the dirt in California or the dirt in Florida.
Yes.
Like, because I know people will have a beautiful garden in one place and then they'll move and they'll try to do the exact same thing in a different state and it doesn't work.
Oh yeah,
It's just
I came out here with a bunch of plants from my garden in California, and I don't even know if I have one plant from there
Aw.
still. But just the temperature is different, climate's different. It just didn't
Mhm.
work. It's more humid out here. Like I said, I was in the desert where it was super dry. It gets really hot out here. Yeah.
It's a different kind of hot too.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. And I
But
think that's why, like, if we all worked together and did more of a bartering system,
oh, I love that
um,
idea.
bartering has always been my favorite thing. But
Yes.
not everything can grow everywhere. So if I grow these 5 things and you grow in another state these 5 things, and then we can trade. Like, it's all about, I think, the community side of things.
Mhm.
We all just worked together and didn't always feel like we had to be on opposing sides or against each other. The whole world would just function a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll take it back even to like the biblical days, right? They
Mm.
harvested their stuff and they went and they traded. They would travel miles and miles and miles and miles and miles for days and days to go trade
Mhm.
goods for goods that they didn't have. And so that,
Yeah,
yeah,
because they knew they couldn't grow it, but so
we
and so
just,
can grow it. So if you meet in the middle and exchange things, and that's why it also pushed people to make their own, because they had to have something to barter to get what
yeah,
they didn't have.
yeah, we need to kick it old
Money,
school.
yeah, money wasn't as big of a thing as it is nowadays. You couldn't just buy everything with fake paper.
Yeah, yeah, really. It's so like, that's one of the things is I really dislike money. And
Mhm.
we need it to use it right for things that we need. But if we can deal without money, I would be a happy camper.
same here.
Yep. Especially when it's all fake anyway. Like,
Yeah.
let's focus on the things
Where
that
did this even come
actually,
from?
yeah,
Yeah,
actually grow and you can actually, make yourself. Whereas I don't know of anyone who's been able to make their own real money. There are counterfeits out there, but that is not something you can just forge out of the ground,
correct. To tell the kids, didn't you know how easy it would be if money grew on trees?
Yeah, right. I mean, it does. It's paper, right? We
Right.
just exchange paper that they say holds some sort of currency behind it. And now
I
they got
know.
rid of pennies. I saw
Yeah,
that the other day
yeah,
because it costs more to make a penny than it's worth.
yeah.
We might be using our dollars for compost pretty soon.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want the stuff
No.
that is on my money
No.
to be in my compost, though.
Not nowadays.
No ink for me, please.
Yeah. No ink, no dye. I mean, germs alone, just think about all
Ew.
the places that money. Ugh.
Yeah.
I remember back in my serving days in Florida, especially being on the beach, you would get handed wet money because it would be
Oh,
in someone's
gross.
bathing suit or something, and mm-mm.
That's nasty.
Yeah, no,
No,
thank
it's
you.
no. I'm like, you can keep that,
Yeah, yeah. I used to be a manager at a gas station in California, and people would pull money out of weird places. Their socks, their bra, like the inseam part of their pants, like,
Oh yeah.
under their
Can you pull that
hats.
out?
Like, I was just like, this is wild.
Yeah. Do you have pockets? Do you know? Your pockets are to hold things. Your hat and socks are not necessarily to hold things. Some people are just like that. They feel safe. It's safer in their socks, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, someone says empty your pockets, you're fine. You're good to
Yeah,
go.
right? Oh, well, I appreciate all the knowledge that you've shared with us so far. Is there anything we didn't touch on that you were thinking about sharing when it comes to gardening and foraging and tinctures and everything? Something we might have missed?
I would say do your research. Make sure you guys aren't allergic to things before you try them, or at least do allergy tests. Like, usually you can tell if a plant's going to have some kind of like adverse reaction to you. You can kind of put it on the inside of your wrist, the sensitive part of your wrist, rub it on there. If you get irritated, then probably not a plant you want to drink or eat, And I would just say have fun. Have fun with it. It shouldn't be stressful. Plants are made to work with you for the service of man. That's why God created them, So it's not meant to be some kind of crazy stressful encounter.
It should be therapy.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I know when I have a stressful day at work, I can go outside and I have a certain tree that has no grass around it at the bottom because the chickens have just scratched it all away. And I can take my shoes off, stand in the dirt, and just touch the tree and lean on the tree and have some quiet time.
And it's so relaxing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. That is grounding. Grounding is a real thing.
I have a grounding spot here that we cut out, and it's got bricks around it, and it's full of dirt, and I literally take my shoes off. I go lay in it. I dig my feet in it.
What a great idea. I need a place where the chickens don't go.
Awesome. Well, I think that's about it, unless there's anything else you had.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you for sharing all the information.
Absolutely. I wish I could have shared some more.
Oh, you can definitely come back anytime.
I was going to say, I think we gave the listeners a lot to learn and think about and dive into today, but I am totally down for another episode.
Yeah, like a more focused topic instead of a broad range.
Yeah.
I created a SpeakPipe page, and it's www.speakpipe.com/DGH. So if we have any listeners that want to share with us about anything you heard today or ask any questions, you can do that on SpeakPipe.
That's awesome. I would love to hear from the listeners, like what practical gifts they've received or given, especially when you're getting into the foraging and gardening season. I think I'm always learning new things that you can DIY yourself or barter, like that's always a cool thing to share with others. Thanks for coming on, Corrine.
Thank you, Corrine.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, very much. It was fun.
My prepper brothers and sisters. Wow, what a show. Corrine rocks. She's awesome. There was so much information I had to start taking notes. One thing's for sure. I can't wait to get my herb garden growing. Making home remedies and tinctures sounds like a lot of fun. Guys, remember to go to the Top Spunker Podcast YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. We sure could use y'all's help in growing the channel. Thanks for letting me hang with y'all. Stay prepped, stay happy. Thanks for listening, and good night.